I am so proud to have been a student here, especially after my incident that saved my life. I started my career in aviation flying Piper Cherokees in my 20s. And setting up for the landing was the best thing because I liked the precision of the landing. But in the air, it was boring. And I always used to look up there to the sky and say, look at those helicopters. Those are so neat. They can fly and land anywhere. And all the airplane pilots would say, well, those guys are fools. You know, those things drop out of the air like a brick. I was in my 20s. I was naive. I believed it. I was a deputy sheriff on the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and of course I got acquainted with pilots, and I said, do these things fall out of the sky like the airplane pilots say? Oh no, this is crazy. I quickly realized that actually you're safer up there in a helicopter because you can auto-rotate to a location and be safe. I get to the training academy, they had an orientation, and I met Kevin, and he said, you know what's the most important thing here today? And I said, no, what is that? He says, I want to go home and be with my wife and my kids.
Well, I started out my career as an aircraft mechanic, then evolved into an offshore pilot. Flew 4 years in the Gulf of Mexico and 18 months off the coast of West Africa. And then I left that industry and got into the aeromedical business and flew aeromedical helicopters for almost 12 years. I jumped ship there and came to work for Bell Helicopter in 1996. Training people to fly 12 different aircraft over 22 years. The student probably conducts well over 35 or 40 touchdown auto rotations. After we get them acclimated to the aircraft and all the normal procedures, we concentrate on all the emergency malfunctions, hydraulics.
We take off from Point Alpha and we're going to go fly down to the pads, and he cuts my hydraulics. And I said, you know, Kevin, I need to do a go-around. He goes, not a problem, do it. So I do a go-around. I said, could you cut my hydraulics back on and turn them off a little later? I said, and he said, your wife and your kids are in the back of the helicopter. I go, no problem, I get it. And then we landed with no hydraulics, and we did it, and that was the start of a great week here.
There's a lot of satisfaction in teaching someone and showing them what they're capable of doing with a helicopter, especially in the emergency arena.
What I learned here at the training academy, if you have an emergency, no matter what it is, don't automatically think that that's what it is, but assess it. And assess it in 3 different ways. And that's exactly what my mindset did day to the day. Engine was gone, all over. And I looked at the main rotor, which was slowing. I looked at my 2 instruments, my rotor instrument, my RPM, engine RPM instrument, and I heard the engine. So I had 4 points that said, you need to down the ship. I went through the process that I learned here mentally. I went through it physically. When the ship landed, we landed perpendicular to the taxiway. And several pilots came running over, and people would go, oh my God, what a great landing. How did you do that? You know, and I said, hey, it was training. As far as the Bell Flight Training Academy here, it's just unbelievably professional. I'm just so happy that I'm here to tell you about this experience. And I hope that I can help other pilots. I'm Joe Petrillo, and I got trained at the Bell Training Academy.